Welcome to this episode of Power Up Happy Hour, and today's going to be a pretty cool episode. We're doing spoiler reviews for Logan and Get Out, two of the biggest movies out right now. As always, I'm Ricky.
I'm Ben.
Raj.
And this is Saber.
And we're going to get into it right away, and let's start off like how we usually do. Cling. Fall into the sink.
Also as a nice. Also as a disclaimer, as Ricky did mention, we are doing reviews, so there will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movies, stop listening, go watch them, then come back.
You got 3 seconds.
Yeah, you got about 3 seconds.
Hey, can we clean again to get Saber back here?
Someone flash lights. So if you haven't seen the movies yet, you need to just turn it off and come back when you do watch it. Yeah. But these are the two biggest movies that everyone's talking about right now.
And everyone should see these two movies. They're so good.
Mm-hmm. You've had time. You had plenty of time.
So the first one we're going to get into is Get Out, which I saw Thursday night. Because I wasn't expecting much from it, but when the reviews came out and they just kept talking about how great it was, and anything Key and Peele do, even though it's just Peele, I'm not, like, I watched Keanu when it came out.
Yeah.
Like, Keanu was badass. So going around the table, Get Out to me was amazing. I don't watch a lot of horror movies when I go to theaters, and to me it wasn't a horror movie, it was more of a thriller, but it did a great job of building that suspense. There are plenty of times where it's like they build the music up and you're ready for that jump scare. They did a great job of that. We're going to get into more of the symbolism behind it, but let's go around the table and see what everyone else, like, their overall opinion of the movie.
Yeah, like, I loved it. I thought that movie was so well done. I am so happy it wasn't just... I went in thinking it was going to be kind of a spoof horror movie, almost like Joss Whedon's Cabin in the Woods, like it was going to be kind of that kind of style. I'm happy that it kind of wasn't. It was suspenseful. It was done really well. And it also played on a lot of symbolism for like issues that have been going on forever, pretty much, and a lot of issues that we're dealing with now. So I was a big fan of all that. What do you think, Raj?
Well, horror movies being my favorite, genre when it comes to movies. I watch some weird horror movies, even like Korean horrors, which is like the best type of horror movie.
Oh, I do remember you sent us a trailer.
Korean horror movies, man.
For the audition. That's I remember.
He sent it to us at work. He sent it to us at work. He was like, hey, you guys need to watch this. We saw a trailer, like, no, Roger, we're not watching it.
Subtitles. But, kind of going by what Ricky said, being this was directed by Jordan Peele, I was kind of thinking of, it might be kind of like spoofy, kind of be kind of goofy, but man, was I totally wrong. He hit the nail on the head with this one, man. Everything was played so perfectly. The jump scares, the music, starting the movie off with Red Bone.
Yes.
That was
what you know about getting a boy?
That was like a perfect start. But I loved it. I loved everything about this movie, the symbolism, the scares, and the twist. The twist at the end, and you're not ready for it. So it just kind of had me on my seat the whole time. I was like, "What's next? What's next?"
Yeah, I was the same way. At first, I was really skeptical about the movie, just because horror movies are like my least favorite type of movies, and the fact that Jordan Peele was directing it, I had no idea what the direction was going to be. It seems like it was contradicting itself for a while. But yeah, like throughout the whole movie, it just kept me on my toes. I love watching movies that always throw me off guard, because I'm usually pretty good at like predicting how the flow of the movie's about to go. But this one just kept keeping me confused throughout the whole movie. But yeah, this is a definite must-see movie that everyone's got to see, man.
I remember, because you talked about the Gambino song.
Yeah.
I mean, but that song before it, when the credits are playing, is a super creepy-ass song. Does anyone remember it?
Wait, the song before?
There's a song before. There's a song when the credits are playing, like right before Gambino's song.
See, I don't remember, because I was getting pretty late when Red Bone was playing.
Yeah, I was like,
you know how I am with Gambino.
It's because I'm trying to remember it. When the movie starts, it's...
Oh, it's that scene with the
trees and you're going down the highway.
Oh, okay, yes.
And there's a super creepy ass song that plays.
I remember that. I was sitting here thinking, okay, this is starting like a real horror movie. I was like, I think my opinion was off. But,
So before going into this movie, I'm watching the trailers and seeing people's reactions. It's kind of like, these people are hypnotized and they just have a whole bunch of black people hanging around at white people's house. That was my opinion going into it before, and we're gonna see how this guy gets trapped into it and how he escapes from it. What about y'all? Is that what y'all got before? Or what, did y'all
I kind of same thing. I kind of got this weird kind of like pseudo like slavery thing through hypnotism. Like, that's what I assumed was happening. And then like in the case of like the one guy from who's in the cast, who was hypnotized from the show Atlanta. He was hypnotized, and he was owned by that heavier white lady. And so I thought maybe he was just like her sex slave, which they mentioned multiple times.
He was, right? He was.
I'm pretty sure he was, but
Technically.
but yeah, no. I mean, so the fact that like there was actually a more sinister really use going on than just like forced labor, like these people were actually just taking over their bodies. Like that was a really weird concept. That entire like lunch dinner party or lunch party thing outdoors was probably the most uncomfortable, but also like entertaining thing I've watched in a long time.
That was one of the creepiest scenes in movie history because like it's at a nice like barbecue.
Yeah,
and
like
everyone
Victorian style.
And just the actual sentences that all these people are saying. Like, I knew that they were going to say some weird stuff, but actually just hear it in what like is coming off as a normal conversation, and then someone's like, "Well, black is in fashion now," and like I'm just sitting there like, why did he say that? Like what? Like I'm thinking.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been in those awkward situations.
Oh, I'm sure they happen.
So like, I really felt for Chris. I was like, oh man.
The entire time I was thinking, I was like, this like. Any white person who's ever said, whoever is like, oh, I'm not racist at all or anything, like I was like, friends. this is like the scene for you. Like you're the one who's like, I'm not racist. I have black friends, or oh, there isn't a race problem in America. I was like, just listen to these phrases and like, if you're like me, I'm sinking in my chair and getting embarrassed, and I'm not even like present there or saying anything. Like,
no, but that's what Jordan Peele talked about. I was listening to an interview. He was like about that scene where the white people were like, oh, I like watching basketball or something like that. It's like when white people, they try not to be racist, they become even more racist.
They're just making it very awkward.
Yeah,
they're opening that door.
Like when people talk to me,
everyone's seen that meme with the guy at the pool going up to the girl.
Oh,
going
like,
I like Bad and Bougie too. Yeah. I'm Derek, by the way.
No, but it's like he meant that for like a lot of different races as well. He was like, even with me, it's like, hey, when someone comes up to me, it's like, oh, you're Indian? Oh, I love Slumdog Millionaire. I was like, cool, that's cool. That had nothing to do with that movie.
Actually, at one of my jobs, I was at the main office, and they're introducing me because I'm the new guy there. And this one guy comes up to me and says, hey, it's really cool you're working here. How long have you been in IT?
Oh, wow.
I work in HR. I was like, all right, buddy. I'm going to go back to my side of the room.
Oh, my God.
That's actually funny because we started our new job somewhat at the same time. And so, like, they were introducing me a couple weeks back. And they were just asking me where I'm from. And I told them Eritrea. And then they're like, oh, wow, I couldn't tell. I mean, you don't have an accent.
Our Lyft driver said that yesterday or 2 days ago. He was like, you were born in India and you moved here? Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah. I was like, you don't have an accent at all. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like, they never even let me finish. I was like, my family's from Eritrea. I was born and raised here. But they just automatically assume, like, when you're born somewhere else, you have to have an accent.
But that's the thing about this movie. Like, it emphasizes all these little...
subtle things.
These little subtle racist things that we see all the time that
people of color see, but maybe white people don't.
Like we might not be extremely offended by it, but it happens.
Yes.
And we either have to laugh it off or just be like it happened again kind of thing.
Yeah, and like the thing is like those are things that like white people in a lot of ways like you need to keep like constant awareness that can happen because these aren't like. Most people in this situation are not. Most of the white people in this situation aren't like doing it on purpose.
Right.
It's because of a culture they were raised in, and so they're just like they need to like be aware of that to get over that. They're trying to be cool. They're trying to like come off as funny, but it's like
I think
just making it awkward as fuck.
Just back it off.
Yeah.
I think it's also
talk to them like you would talk to any human being.
They're trying to find something to bond with you with. And they're like, oh, I've seen Slumdog Millionaire. Yeah. So what was it like being a child beggar? I was like, no, that's not me. That was a movie.
I hated that movie, by the way.
All right, so getting back to the movie, because I'm thinking about that picnic, the barbecue scene, and you see him, the cookout, and you see him just talking to everyone, and you see that they're like touching him, and they're like. They're trying out the material before they start bidding on him. That's so creepy. Because that one girl, I think the one older lady just straight up like grabbed him.
Yeah, just grabbed his arm and just like stroked it.
Single-handedly, the like creepiest scene in that entire movie to me was when he goes upstairs and then everyone just stops talking and looks up. Like
that was weird.
No, it's because they're there for him. They don't care about what's going on. They're like, we're here to get this guy, and he's not in the room right now. There's no reason to do anything else until he comes back.
It was just so creepy and so well done. Oh my god.
Oh, and so the other thing that I want to get into is the fact that we thought it was just a hypnotist thing. It
Yeah.
wasn't. We had no idea they were putting these people into their bodies.
Yeah. I mean, who would have thought?
Yeah, exactly. Because
The trailer didn't give us that much information, but still.
yeah, I mean, they did a great job not ruining that in the commercials. And then you see all the mannerisms of the people that are hypnotized. The guy running around the field. The grandma constantly checking herself out because she's young again. And like, oh God, what was it? I wish I knew who took over the skinny guy's body. Like, I wish I knew who that was.
Right.
Oh,
they
yeah.
never do reveal that.
Yeah.
It's just,
No. They don't.
You just see him as...
I'm assuming
I'm just
it's
assuming
that
it's that old
woman's
lady. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't it the guy at the beginning?
But
Yeah,
we don't know he was
we don't
one of
know
the-
who
Well, the
took
guy at the
over.
beginning
yeah.
was the girl's
Okay.
Oh,
brother.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can get into the... I think Ben has it. The BuzzFeed article
Yes.
that popped up. So BuzzFeed put out a really good article of things we might have missed.
Oh, shout out to Wahab for tagging me in this. I mean, we were talking about this for days once he tagged me in.
Oh, that BuzzFeed article?
Yeah, he was the one that tagged me in it. That's when you saw.
And if anyone wants to check it out, it's trending right now on BuzzFeed, so you don't have to look too far for it if you just go to their trending tab. It's called 22 Secrets Hidden in Get Out You May have Missed.
We'll put it on our page.
Or yeah, we'll share it.
We do have a page.
Share our link instead.
Like, comment, subscribe.
But yeah, essentially it points out like some subtle clues that really point different ways. One was Rose, like when she's she's seemingly sticking up for Chris when the police officer out of nowhere is asking for her or for his ID. Like everyone I think was in that moment just assuming, oh, she's just a girl who's like very consciously aware of like targeted racial profiling by police officers, and so she's just going to stick up and not take this and everything. Kind of what she wants you to think, but it's really more in that case. She just doesn't want a paper trail because
Exactly.
they're gonna kidnap this guy. They don't want any reason for anyone in law or in the legal area of the world to like suspect anything happened. Which reading that, like, it makes perfect sense, and like once it's revealed that she actually is a part of it all, it kind of all those scenes where it seemed like she was just kind of a good girlfriend, just kind of flip, and you can like, that could easily have just been this instead.
Another part of that scene was them hitting the deer.
Yes.
And him going to go look at it because he wants to see. I don't know if he wants to see if it's okay or if he just wants to see a dead deer.
He's displaying empathy for like this dead creature, and she has no
She's like,
care
get
at
the hell
all.
out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was another big scene. One thing I thought was cool that once everything got revealed was the fact that the yard guy was running laps at night.
Right.
So when I first saw that scene, I thought that was him running towards him to rescue him.
That's what I thought.
To get him out of there.
Right.
But the light came on and he turns and he goes the other way. But in the BuzzFeed article, they talk about that's him running laps because who's the runner?
Jesse Owens.
Jesse Owens,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's him trying to relive that race over and over because he's able to now.
Jesse Owens is a former Ohio State Buckeye, like yours truly. Shout out to the Buckeyes.
Shut up, Ben.
Ben, you're slow. But what were some of the other stuff that y'all noticed, or even in the BuzzFeed article?
One thing that I noticed in the BuzzFeed article was how she had separated her cereal with her milk.
Which I thought was so cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was super weird watching it.
Yeah.
It was just
I was
so
like,
cool how she was
who
eating it
eats
each
cereal like that?
individually.
Like, I'm just getting angry watching you eat it that way.
But in the BuzzFeed article, it explained how it symbolized how white people should be separated from non-whites and how we shouldn't mix. But another thing that I had noticed in that scene that wasn't the BuzzFeed article was as she was eating her cereal, she was on her computer and she was looking up top prospects of the NCAA basketball players, which got me thinking automatically, oh, is Peel like kind of throwing shade to like black athletes? Like once they make it and make millions, how they get a white girl, and then they just throw away like the culture, you know? They don't even look back and get a black girl. So that was something that I had noticed like then and there.
Did anyone see the meme that Jordan Peele retweeted? I had retweeted it as well. It was Kellyanne Conway on the couch. Yes. It was picture next to it was top NCAA prospect.
This movie produced so many amazing
that.
memes. Like it was incredible.
Oh, so back to, I don't know if we mentioned in the podcast, but we were talking about how the guy got kidnapped at the beginning.
Right.
And so I couldn't see it at the first scene, but when he's running away and he sees the mask, it's a night mask.
Yeah.
Did you notice it's a night mask in a white car? So it's representing the KKK. Like
Yeah,
the
it's the White Knights of the Ku
I
Klux
didn't
Klan.
think
That's
about
what it
the
was
car
supposed to
part.
be.
Yeah.
I remember the
Yeah.
the
Because
helmet.
I think that was in the
represents
BuzzFeed article.
It's in
too.
here. I think the one to me that was like really got me because I didn't even think about it at the time, but I was like, that was like weird and kind of like turning something that's really evil in American history into almost I don't know, kind of more in a jokish way, but the moment where he's tied to the chair and he starts picking out the chair stuffing to like get free and like
you can say cotton.
Yeah, I was like, that's what the article's talking about.
I don't know.
That's what the article's talking about. It's like he was literally forced to pick cotton to save his life.
I noticed that. I think that was pretty obvious. I thought it was pretty obvious.
I thought it was.
I just didn't think of it as cotton. I just thought of it as he's just.
Yeah, I didn't think about it as cotton until I saw the.
Well, to me, I was like, what furniture and stuff with cotton? It's always like that plastic, like weird material. That's what's going through my head.
It was also old ass. I mean,
But that to me, I was just like, man, that's crazy. That's a weird.
I mean, he had to like, because his hands.
Yeah, I was thinking like, how did he have to like his ear?
Yeah,
his hands were
his torso. I mean, he wasn't like, I think he was set up here. He could just gone like.
That was good though, because then you get into the whole in that movie that he watches. It's the grandparents talking about the program and whatever it's called. I forgot what it was called, but he mentions the dad mentions at the beginning of the movie. Oh, they came and helped my parents when they were sick, and we didn't want to let them go. So we thought they were talking about the workers, but he was actually talking about his grandparents and them putting his grandparents' brain into their workers. See, that was a huge twist.
When I heard that line, I was low-key suspicious. I was thinking maybe, this is my theory at that time, was like, okay, maybe they somehow hypnotized those bodies and somehow kept the grandparents in there. That's as close as I got.
Yeah.
I had no way in thinking that they just took out the brain and just swapped them.
I mean, that's some crazy weird stuff.
Like
that's very sci-fi.
Was another thing we were talking about too.
Oh god, with the bingo cards.
I thought it was they're playing bingo in a.
I just thought that's what white people did at barbecues.
That's one that I like. Which I'm a history nerd and I read a lot of history books. They give me shit for this all the time. But like, so I recognize that immediately. I was like, oh, this is really throwing back to like slavery era, like auctions.
I didn't pick up on that until because they don't show his picture. They showed them playing bingo, then they zoom out, and there's a huge picture of him. Yeah. They're like, holy shit, they're buying it. I was like, that's weird.
Oh, man. Another good one was the camera flash, which is how Chris learns how to really kind of... It looks like it's just like, at least a brief moment, it messes with the hypnotism and kind of lets the real person out of the sunken place. But that's like kind of a tribute back to how camera phones and smartphones have kind of really helped to expose a lot of this brutality that's even going on nowadays. I think a lot of people, and especially a lot of white people at different points, kind of thought that we were past a lot of that stuff. And then you have this era of Ferguson. You have all this stuff, which is nothing different than what has ever been going on.
Yeah. But now
it's just the fact
the
that's
exposure of social media and camera and smartphones has kind of brought it out, and it's hard. And you can't ignore it anymore.
Right.
Somebody on Twitter tweeted out Ben Carson stuck in the sunken.
Oh yeah, I saw
that. Like, please help his brother out.
The next press conference, everyone's just flashing lights at him.
It's because of that stupid thing he said at his interview. He was saying how he's pretty much saying no, this happened today. Pretty much said slaves were immigrants.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, what was the this doesn't even have to do with the movie, but the education secretary lady, she was like said something like praised historically black colleges the other day for being pioneers of school choice. It's like, no, they came around in segregation era when like you couldn't go to a white school. I don't know I'm sorry, that's a different subject.
But what was it? Then we have. I mean, the movie's great. We all loved it. The minute I got out of it, I was like, I gotta tell these guys, like, go watch it right away.
Yeah, because I saw it last out of everyone here, and you guys were on my case for like the whole week.
We cannot talk about this movie because Sabra hasn't watched it yet.
My bad. Now I completely understand.
I almost posted this BuzzFeed list in our group text, and then Ricky's like, Sabra, don't look. So I was like, all right, I'll look.
I really did not look. That's why I went on Snapchat and went to our group message, like, can I look now?
So another thing we can talk about is Peele. Like, he did a great job. In an interview, he said he's written way more horror movies. He has material out there that...
Oh, did not know that.
But here's the thing, like, is it all going to be this good?
That's true.
He set the bar very high.
I'm ready for whatever he puts out there.
Yeah.
So my thing was, Keanu was good. Keanu was good, and Get Out was good. I have faith in him. Like, if he puts something else out there, I'm down to watch it.
I'm totally gonna.
I remember when Key and Peele was like, they announced that they were gonna cancel the show and just go their own ways because they had other stuff to work on, and I was just so sad.
I think
like,
that's this.
What can you do that's better than Key and Peele? You know,
but they're both doing great. Like,
both doing great.
Key's doing. He has a whole bunch of like indie movies out, and he's in a lot of the bigger ones. He was in that James Franco movie. And he's hilarious and all that too. Like, they're both doing fine. I think they're still planning to meet up and do another like Key and Peele special kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see if Peele does have something else.
Yeah.
Or I mean, he does have something else, but if they're willing to make the movie out of it.
Yeah, I got faith in him now.
I mean, their box office budget was nothing for this film.
Mm.
They crushed it.
Yeah.
They crushed it over the weekend.
Now I get why it's 100%.
No, it's 99.
Yeah.
And Collider talked about how it's this one reviewer who always bashes on movies, no matter how good or bad it is.
So he's just a dick.
Because they're complaining like he probably didn't even see the movie, because in his review he was like, what was the whole point of that first scene with the guy getting kidnapped? You never see him again. And we're like, he's in the barbecue scene. Like, that's the whole point of that.
Someone take his license away.
His Rotten Tomato license. But now, I guess the overall message is...
Go see it.
Go see it. Stay away from tea sets and
white girls.
And old white ladies drinking tea. If you're a NCAA prospect, be careful out there.
Yeah, I remember I went home right afterwards, and like I was just like walking through one of our living rooms to get to my computer, and I turned, like, my mom has like a china cabinet, and I just like saw that somebody just looked at it weird for a second. I was like, is there another life that I'm not aware of? But
I can't come to your house no more. You can't have this body, bro.
Yeah, the sad part is my dad's a hunter, so there are a lot of deer heads all over the place.
We come over and we just see Saber running around the yard. But Get Out was good. It touched on a lot of nerves, and it touched on a lot of nerves in a good way.
Yeah.
Peele did a very good job. It deserves whatever rating it's at now, whatever high rating it is. It deserves that. So basically, we're telling everyone to go watch Get Out if you haven't watched it yet. If you're listening to this before you watched it, my bad. But
No, don't apologize. We
No,
warned
because-
him.
warning.
We warned him.
it's true.
Yeah.
I gave him 3 seconds.
There you go. So the next movie we are going to get into is the first blockbuster of the summer, the first superhero movie of the summer. I'm not missing anything, am I?
No, Doctor Strange.
That was
No,
last
it's
year.
the
I guess
summer.
it's the summer.
Of the year.
I don't know my
Of
season.
this year,
Sorry.
calendar year.
Yeah.
All right, so Logan, it came out a couple of days ago.
Raj is so excited.
No, I'm about to hand it over to Raj because Raj put up a review for Logan, and I saw some digital tears while you were writing.
No, man, I have never been more proud of you in my life until I
Raj,
read that
Raj,
article.
the mic's all yours for
Yeah.
the
This
next
is what I was thinking.
He blew all of our expectations away with that.
What
review,
did
by
I
the
say
way.
in the last podcast at the very end?
I agreed
said-
with you. I did
I
agree
said
with
Logan will be movie of the year. I
You
know
did?
Star Wars is coming out.
You
And I
did?
know a lot of good movies are gonna come out, but I think Logan's gonna take the cake, man. And
The look on Ben's face when you said Star Wars.
The fact that you think that movie's going to beat out a Star Wars movie is just laughable. But it was a really good movie, so please continue.
it took, it had all my expectations. Like they're gonna do Logan right, they're gonna do Wolverine right in this movie, they're gonna do Hugh Jackman right in this movie, and I think they delivered on every single scene they delivered. In this world where we have, Old Man Logan, or they took parts of Old Man Logan.
They took a very small part.
Yeah,
of the
very
comic
small
book.
part. I think they took his appearance. Obviously, it took a little bit of his appearance.
Technically, they didn't because Logan's 5'2" or 5'3", and Hugh Jackman's like 6'2".
Hugh Jackman, right? But I think the way they kind of portrayed him to kind of be this, what do I have left fighting for, and kind of go that route where his biggest fear is to love again, because everyone he loves either gets killed or disappears or whatever happens. So for him to kind of go back into that after he's been kind of in this slump for so many years, I think that was a perfect kind of storyline to go to.
Yeah.
Because we never got that, in any other movies. It was just
Right.
more, it was action, right? We're more about action. So
I think-
I love this movie.
It was so good. It was so bleak, and I think that's probably the most affecting part of the movie to me, is the fact that it is just so bleak from start to finish, and it's a superhero movie. So I think we all, even though we knew going in that it was going to be kind of a darker tale, we all were waiting for that moment where it's going to get more hopeful, where something's going to change, and like the good guys are going to come through and like save the day or anything. But that never really happens. Yeah, in the end, kind of the good guys do end up triumphing in the fact that the kids get away from Transigen, but it still it doesn't end in a happy note.
Right.
But it also ends in probably the most complete way that this could have ever ended.
One thing I really liked about it was the scale of the movie. It's so small.
Yeah.
You have the first X-Men where they're fighting on top of the Statue of Liberty. The second one where they're fighting in the X-Mansion, to a dam, to everything else. And then it just gets bigger and bigger. But then you go to this one. I mean, the third one, they move a bridge. They move the Golden State Bridge.
Well, they're like the whole world's like being torn apart by
Yeah.
Phoenix. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
And then,
but then you go to this movie,
Yeah.
and it's them just trying to survive.
Yeah.
You see these heroes that had these costumes, these big mansions, these big weapons, the X-wing and everything like that, to them hiding out in a broken down water tower.
Right.
The whole time I'm watching, I was like, holy crap! Like it's taking a toll of them. Like it's what 2049 or something.
2029.
29. And like those few years have taken a toll on them. Wolverine does not want to be Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
He at that first scene, that fight, he's trying to beg them to not like he's like, don't make me kill you. Like I really don't want to kill you. Compared to the first time where he's like, he'll kill anyone that gets in his way.
Exactly.
Highlighting on that, one thing I really liked about this movie is how you kind of saw a more mortal side of Wolverine. One thing that I didn't like about Wolverine is, the fact that he has those healing abilities. He's pretty much indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I just felt like a little bit more related with him because, like, his body's, because being poisoned with the adamantium.
Which I think we all agree on. The adamantium is what's killing him.
Yeah,
that's what I read. It said that the adamantium
Professor
is
X
fusing
makes
with his,
a
bones.
Yeah, Professor
So
X
it's
makes a comment at one point. I think it's when they're in the family's home in Oklahoma and he's on the bed. But he makes a comment at some point about that, like about what is inside you is literally killing you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The doctor makes it appear that there's
alluded to that
something
as well.
inside. There's something very wrong inside you.
And I think Wolverine knew that.
Yeah.
He even
Yeah.
kind
He
of
was
said
okay
that.
with it.
If I had to say like a negative about that movie, it's not even a huge one. It's they didn't do a very good job of, like, in my mind at least. I wanted to know more about that Westchester incident, about what happened to the last of the X-Men. They reveal it, but it's in a very subtle way. A journalist lady's on a radio, and she's kind of starts mentioning it before
So-
it's
And
turned
honestly,
off.
it's very easy to miss that.
Yeah, it's
because,
very
like,
easy to miss. And
I
so
missed it until we talked about it.
yeah, and so I kept like waiting, and after I heard the radio part to learn more about what actually happened, especially later once Professor X remembers that it was him. But that never happens, which, like I said, it's a small piece, and I don't need it to think of that movie being great. It's just I would have loved to learn a little bit more about it.
I think that they did that because it's called Logan. Like
Right.
Not X-Men. They don't wanna focus
exactly
on Logan's
because
story.
the movies were it's all the X-Men. They have the X-Men title in there, and they were like, you know what, we're gonna give Logan his own movie.
Right.
From X-Men Origins, that shitty ass Wolverine movie,
Oh, yeah.
to the one in Japan, which I kind
It
of
was okay.
enjoyed.
That
It
was okay.
Japan that one was way better than Origins.
So I think they were like, I think that was the whole point. They were like, you know what, we're gonna give them their own movie, but it need to cut the
it's
rest
just-
of the people out.
It's like I
But-
didn't want to know more just because I want to know what happened to the other X-Men. Like, yes, I mean, I'm probably the only one at this table here who doesn't think Wolverine's their favorite X-Men, one of the X-Men, or at least.
He's my
But
favorite.
but
He's up there.
I really want to know more because, like, at the end of Days of Future Past, like, history's been changed. A lot of the people who were gone, Jean Grey, Cyclops, all of them are alive again. And then, like,
But this
movie, like we've said, it is about Logan,
Yeah.
so it's not a huge part. I still think it was very well done. It's just like you're sitting there thinking, like, what happened? Did like
But
he
I think-
ever did
so-
him and Jean ever end up getting together? Things like that. Like what
They
happened to the
are-
rest?
I
Did
know they
Rose get
said
her
that-
powers back? Like
I know they said this is the last Logan movie, and we thought they were going to be done with X-Men. I think Sophie Turner, Sonya Stark, said they're going to film one this year.
Yeah.
Like, they're redoing it with that.
I saw an article came out after the Apocalypse movie that was talking about how they're going to make more X-Men, but with now that younger cast that was.
I thought
introduced.
Jennifer Lawrence was not gonna do these anymore.
She's done. She does
Yeah,
not
she's-
like these movies.
She's not a good Mystique to me,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
She's good as Mystique when she's not in the blue.
That
That's the
makes
thing.
sense,
I was
yeah.
like, but Mystique needs to be in the blue.
Yeah.
The whole point of Mystique is mutant pride, and you can't have that when you're
Transform
not
as a
Right.
human,
Yeah.
And honestly,
I
like
don't care how hot you are.
I was still kind of shocked that she kept doing those movies. Like by the time Apocalypse came out.
Paycheck.
Well, no,
She's
but
getting
she's a
paid.
little bit. She at that point is a little bit too big of an actor for a movie like that. Like she's won an Oscar at least. Like these, like that's not the type of movie you'd expect her to do.
We should
be honest.
do a podcast about that, like Oscar winners who have gone and done bad movies.
Yes.
But
We
kind
really
of going
should.
back to Ben's idea, it's kind of X-Men's way of telling us we don't know what time limit it is. You figure it out.
It's true. They leave it so vague that you don't know.
They
But
ain't got
I
the
do-
answers.
Yeah.
You
Going
ain't
back
got the answers, Sway.
going back to what you said about the comic books, because I've actually read the Old Man Logan story, and Rogers read the Old Man Logan plus X-23.
Right.
In the Old Man Logan comic book, Logan's the one that kills all the X-Men because he gets tricked because Mysterio makes him believe there's a whole bunch of supervillains in the mansion, but it's actually all the X-Men.
And that puts him in a rut for years.
Yeah, he doesn't even bring his claws out for decades later. But the cool thing was they made Professor X, like we're theorizing that Professor X was the one that killed all of them.
That's the radio broadcast.
Yeah,
They just said there was the incident at Westchester.
Well, no,
and
they
then
said
right before,
they said Professor Charles Xavier was cited with Logan, and they said who was the infamous mutant who was responsible for injuring 400
and
people.
also on his
and killing
deathbed,
7
didn't he?
X-Men.
Like when he saw X-24, he mentioned it.
Yeah.
He
He's
mentioned
like,
he
"I've done
remembers
terrible
what he's done.
things."
Yeah, no, that's crazy, and it's like it was weird because you're sitting there thinking you're like, oh, this is Professor X. Like, why? What happened? And it's like. He was an old man. He was like kind of just deteriorating from the normal.
It's weird
stuff
seeing
that-
both of
another
those
one was-
high X-Men
to see both of those men
like,
so
mortal.
frail.
Yeah.
Like, it was
mind-boggling.
Oh, especially when Logan had to take a piss.
Yeah.
He's like, that's Professor X.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Obi would be crazy, man. No, but even going back to Ricky, your point of this being on a smaller scale kind of highlighted the story to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you didn't get this. We don't have to move bridges. We don't have to move the Statue of Liberty. It was cool that it was not CGI. Like you didn't see anything that was super CGI. Like that looks corny. That looks kind of dumb. And every action seemed pretty cool.
Villains who look like Ivan Ooze from Power Rangers.
News was a badass.
Yeah, but I didn't want Apocalypse to look like him.
I actually watched that the other day, and I was like, man, Apocalypse has so much potential.
Dude, I only saw that one time in theaters. I could not.
But
see
yeah,
it
but speaking of Logan, because you have the comic books, you have the connections to it. I love the whole, because you mentioned this in a review that it was kind of like a Western.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll give this to the marketing crew of Fox. When I saw the trailers, I thought the whole world was gone because they never showed like a big city.
It's true, they didn't.
Turns out it was just West Texas.
It was fucking El Paso.
Touchdown's house in the corner.
It was just them in a rundown water tower, but everything else is fine.
Yeah. And like to see that, like as I said when we talked about our movie podcast, I thought that this looked a lot like that game Last of Us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It kind of like it had the feel, but it really wasn't because like this movie was a very small part of it was just X-23 and Logan. Like their interaction is the main part of the movie, but Professor X and a lot of other people are interacting with them throughout most of it, which I liked. Don't get me wrong, like I loved it, but that was still I liked that they captured that kind of vibe from it. My thing,
it's like this dystopia kind of feel.
Yeah,
city,
it was cool, and they did it without like the world actually ending, which was very interesting. Like you're sitting there being like, man, these characters, their world has ended, but for everyone else, like things are going on business as usual.
The kids run off into the forest.
It's like, oh, we have less people with crazy powers killing all of us all the time, so we don't care.
One thing I did notice is the fact that how enthusiastic Professor X got when a new mutant shows up. Yeah. Like he's doing the same shit he did in X-Men First Class when he's trying to do mutant rights.
Right.
But
when he first finds Logan,
like his body is slowing down and his mind.
There was a fucking army around the corner trying to get them.
He's still like, we have a mutant here.
Yeah.
We need to nurture it. We need to protect her.
Yeah.
Like he's doing this shit till he dies, which literally happened.
Yeah. I thought that the movie was very good about like it used mutants and it used this as like an allusion to kind of what's going on nowadays too. This one also had a lot of political undertones, just like Get Out. Talking about how like showing mutants in a way is like, oh, they're gone. They've basically been like, they're just not in anything anymore. And so it really kind of alludes to a lot of things going on today. The xenophobic tendencies of America, the fact that they used like artificial foods and artificial things in foods as the way to like stop the mutation of the genes from happening in the first place. Like those are very real things that connect to real issues that are going on in America now.
Anybody see that wall? The wall on the
yes.
border?
Oh, yes.
I think that was so funny.
I think you actually reached over to me. The movie was like, "Is that Trump's wall?" Like,
No, I thought it was funny, but I was reading an article that when they were filming this, it was during the the primaries and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't know that they were gonna have this kind of issue on their.
It's so unintentional.
It just
it's
kind of
so
unfolded
connects.
into it, and they're like, oh, I guess this kind of makes sense to what's happening right now in our country. So I thought that was super cool.
Yeah. That movie was well done from start to finish. It did a very good job of I can't think of a better way to end Hugh Jackman's run as Wolverine. Like I'm sad to see that it's the end is finally here.
I know you felt some type of way when she took the cross and then made it into an X.
Oh my god.
I think you lost it.
I shed a tear, man. I was like,
I don't blame him for that.
Like I said, Wolverine was never my favorite X-Men, but it doesn't matter. Hugh Jackman handled that role better than I think any other actor has handled any X-Men role at this point.
Even Professor X, though.
Patrick Stewart is great. Don't get me wrong, he's great. I liked Ian McKellen as Magneto as well, but no one kind of looked the part and played the part quite as good as Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. So
it was just sad. Even for Professor X, he was like, this is the best day I've had in a very long time.
And then he dies.
But I guess he died happy.
The minute
the
minute they talked about, we made X-23 and we realized that couldn't work, so we made another one called X-24. I don't know if I looked at Sabra or I thought in my head, I was like, they cloned Logan. They cloned him. They cloned him. Also, I told Sabra the scientist from Logan is a bad guy in Doctor Who.
I was just like, not now, Ricky.
Not now. It's not about Doctor Who, okay?
There's always a connection. He was a good bad guy in this one, too.
He had this stupid grin on his face.
You know what?
He's like, that's from Doctor Who?
I wish he wasn't the bad guy, though. I like the country dude, Donald. I wish they stuck with him more. I wish they
he played the role so well.
I was like, you barely have good villains in Marvel.
Yeah.
He was
and
good.
You have one right there.
The idea of the Reavers was so interesting. I came out of it being like, man, I want to see a movie now of when the Reavers are actually going around wiping out the rest of the X-Men.
I wish they
the rest of
explained
the
why
mutants,
all their hands were robotic.
I'm assuming just as a better way to counteract against mutant powers.
I think in the comics, they're actual cyborgs. I think I remember reading an article saying that. Maybe it was kind of alluding to that aspect.
So he was a great character. The idea was so good. I know I'm never actually going to get that movie I'm talking about, but it doesn't matter.
What?
A movie where you actually see the Reavers doing that part. The in between where we ended with Days of Future Past
literally
to now. But
in the X-Men universe, there's the New Mutants, there's the New X-Men, and there's another New Mutants that their films they're talking about being made. My X-Men knowledge isn't that great. Besides the '90s cartoon,
that's pretty much the same extent of mine.
And X-Men Evolution.
Yep.
Also, there is a great other X-Men cartoon called Wolverine and the X-Men.
Yes.
So it is amazing, and it's another one of those shows that got cut off right when it was getting good.
What channel was it on?
It was I don't know what it was on. I had the DVD. That's how good it was.
I haven't heard of it.
But it used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it still is. But that's another one where you see an incident happen, and Wolverine becomes a leader of the X-Men, and there's no Professor X, and it's another badass. And it just goes into more of just how awesome Wolverine is and what he does. But let's talk about some of our.
Wait, can we talk about X-23? How we feel about it?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, I was going to favorite scenes, but let's do X-23 first.
Isn't she the most badass character?
She was surprisingly funny at times too. I was not
the whole
expecting
theater
that.
broke into laughter when she was able to start speaking to Logan.
I mean,
she started speaking Spanish to him.
Yeah.
The convenience store scene where she's like, "Let's kill that dude." No. But dude, I think if you read X-23 and Old Man Logan. Man, like I said in my review, this girl is straight savage. She makes Wolverine she's 10 times stronger than him.
I remember
she learned from a young age,
Yeah.
So she's honing her skills. She's doing this for a long time.
She's more angry. She's more angry.
She gets angry. When she gets older.
Angry.
Yeah, when she gets older, oh my god, the stuff that she does, dude. She freaking annihilates people. So the way that you kind of see this grow, maybe we'll get a Wolverine movie with a female Wolverine.
Maybe a standalone an X-23 type movie.
Kind of like that. Right now it's her, so I wouldn't doubt if they did make a movie about her. Yeah. So right now,
Yeah, no, and that would be great. It was a very well fleshed out character, especially for a character who didn't speak for the majority of that movie until the very end. And then when she finally does, everything she says is much more powerful, even though the first rant, at least I didn't understand. Some people might have, but unfortunately, my Spanish wasn't that good. So.
Man, she had claws from her feet, though.
Right?
Savage.
What did y'all... So... for how old was she in that movie? How old was that character supposed to be?
She's supposed to be 10.
Thank you for making this an R-rated movie.
Yeah,
because it showed how savage that girl gets.
It was nice to see an X-Men, a superhero movie in general, actually be rated R.
And to me, I think it was better rated R as far as the cursing way. I think they placed it more kind of in the right spots in kind of Deadpool.
Mhm.
Deadpool was
Yeah,
kind of all over the
Deadpool was
place, right?
but then again, that's Deadpool's character,
Right.
so
Right,
it's
right.
fitting.
So
So like,
I
if we
had-
had that in this movie, a lot of people
This
probably
one
would
like,
complain
kind of
about
did
it.
the job that was that.
I didn't even notice
think
much of the
that
cussing in this
they're
movie, to be
supposed to.
honest.
Yeah,
that-
it's like they cuss
yeah.
whenever, like, when I cuss, like when I'm
Yeah.
talking to you guys, that's when I use the F word
Right.
something like that, right? So I thought that was kind of clever.
Like superhero movies generally, like you don't see a lot of blood and everything. So like even though they're killing people, most people don't think about it. This movie,
Yeah.
Well,
like
'cause
I flinched a couple times.
They need
because
to
of
make
what
it.
he's
They need to
doing.
make money.
Yeah.
When you make a movie PG-13, you
Of
get
course.
a whole nother
Of
age
course,
group.
they
of
don't want to
people see that.
alienate the younger generations who are getting into these characters.
But I think they saw what happened with Deadpool.
Yeah.
You can still make a lot of
You can.
a lot of
Of
money with
course.
the R-rated movie.
Shit, there were times when I was in the theater and like whenever a crazy scene would happen, I would like hit Ricky on his eye. I was like, oh shit, she done lost his head.
to me, like, the classic Wolverine, action is when he's running and he does like the forward jump,
Yes.
with his
Yes.
claws. And she does that at the end too, and she's like, oh my god, there it is. So,
She's like, I learned that from Papa.
yeah.
Oh yeah, when she said "daddy" at the end, I was like, "You're Hispanic, say
Yeah.
papa." Was that too much? All right, so let's talk about some of our favorite scenes from the movies. Ben, what was your favorite scene?
Oh gosh.
Ben's like,
From which one,
nudity.
Logan or Get Out?
The one where they flash the boobies.
I think he's talking about Logan. Yeah.
From Logan. Okay. Gosh, my favorite scene would have to actually be that very first fight scene because it was like.
From the limo?
Yeah, from the
Yeah,
limo.
yeah.
Because it's Logan's clearly not wanting to be a part of this. He's not wanting to fight at all. But then it happens, and I think just because it is the first rated R X-Men fight scene, and just watching how grotesque and like
Did you,
it is, I flinched.
Did you notice during the whole fight scene, he's still trying to protect the
Yes,
limo?
which is amazing.
Yeah.
That's the other part. That's
It's like,
so
no,
great.
no, no.
He's like, that's my,
And then
That's
the
his job.
And then the moment they
That's
shoot up the
not
limo,
right.
he lets go all the reservations, just like
Oh,
wails.
and
over
when
and
that one
finishes
claw
them all.
doesn't come out.
Yeah,
What about you, Raj?
I think one of my favorite scenes is when they're in Oklahoma City at the casino, and the Reavers come in while Logan's awake in the car, and then Professor X has to freeze everybody, and everyone's all shaking or whatever.
Well,
and
he does that. Oh,
yeah.
does he do that on purpose, or does he just
It's
freak out?
unintentional. I
Yeah,
think he
it's-
didn't.
he's
Have,
having
his pills,
seizures.
right?
yeah, he
He's
wasn't taking
his
his
pills.
medicine.
Oh, okay.
Remember Logan discovers the pills in the car
Yeah,
under the seat,
Mhm.
and so when he goes back, everything's in slow motion, so you see like the claws.
Oh
and the
yeah,
hand, right?
because in
And
the
then-
commercials they don't do that.
Yeah, they don't do that. So I think seeing that sequence of him kind of going through the hallways, the elevator, in slow motion, and killing all these guys in slow motion, and then once gets back to normal, everyone just fucking drops like nothing. And I think that part was so cool.
Yeah.
So I think they played that really elegantly.
What about you, Saber?
Man, I think my favorite part is when they first introduced X-24. Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't expecting that, honestly. And I was like, oh shit, X-24 is here. And then just that whole fight scene where Wolverine just loses it because that family dies. And then,
was
right,
sad.
it was so
That
sad.
was
I
That was
felt for
Professor
them.
X's fault too. Wolverine was like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
He's
He's
like,
like-
I could use some
He's
dinner.
like,
Yeah.
they're hunting us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a whole army on us. But no, that best scene was when that black guy, who was surprisingly alive, was able to run over X-24
Yeah.
and just what was he impaled on? Like looked like I don't know.
It was
what
like a tractor.
some sort of tractor,
I
a
don't
pitchfork.
know.
I don't know.
And then just pinned by the
Some
truck.
Yeah.
farming tool.
Yeah.
I want to know who played him. I want to know if they just like CGI Hugh Jackman or if they actually got someone
They probably.
and like
Yeah.
and just like.
Yeah, of course, we had younger Hugh Jackman.
I'm
wasn't it?
assuming it was
Yeah.
just Hugh Jackman,
Shit,
and they
I
played
thought I was
both
watching the
parts.
first
in
X-Men
it.
movie
Yeah.
all over again. It looks just like him.
Yeah.
Is this X2?
Yeah.
my favorite part was it's towards the end, and he takes the green serum, and you hear that roar, that scream, and everyone's like, "Fuck!"
He's back.
besides the first fight scene with X-23, when she throws the head,
Oh my
and he's
God.
like, "No."
There's a lot of wrestling moves she pulled in there. Have you seen like a hurricane?
Rey Mysterio on man.
619.
Booyaka, booyaka.
Yeah, but what do you like? Do you see anything else happening after this? Or do you see them following X-23 at all, making movies about
That's
her?
what I think. I think they should do that. I think later on somehow they would have to get somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, I would love it, but I honestly think at this point, as we were talking about earlier, they're going to at the end of Apocalypse, you have the younger cast now, you have everyone back. I think they're just going to follow them at this point. maybe at some point, since they have to replace Wolverine, you can't have an X-Men movie without him. Maybe they'll use a younger and they'll use a female version.
I'll petition Alicia Vikander to play X-23.
That'd be incredible.
I don't know. Me personally, I don't know. I feel like Marvel has too much on their plates right now. Personally, I don't think it'll be.
So this is Fox. This is Marvel.
Okay.
They're really playing the Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Because Raj mentioned it earlier how Hugh Jackman, or was it Ricky?
Yeah. So there's an article that came out that said Hugh Jackman's done with Wolverine unless they allow the Wolverine and the X-Men to join the MCU. Which I don't see happening because
I don't see happening either.
Because Marvel has their stuff. Like they were able to add Spider-Man because that's one character, but you add the X-Men and that's
a whole universe.
That's a whole. I mean,
well, they don't have to do
more characters. Yeah.
I mean, they don't really have to go over the top and add too many of them. If you were using Hugh
Jackman, it'd be weird though. If they were like, "Hey, Wolverine, you come over," but Cyclops, you stay over there.
Well, you have to think about it. They still already have enhanced individuals in Marvel. They're just referring to them all as Inhumans because they can't.
Yeah.
Well, now after Deadpool, they referred to mutants. So you have in Deadpool, you see the mansion, the manor.
Yeah, but Deadpool and X-Men are on the same universe.
They are.
Yeah. That's
My
why.
bad.
That's why he can
I
say.
thought Deadpool was Marvel as well.
No, it's Fox. That's why they can say. That's why he talks about Hugh Jackman all the time.
No, I mean,
how does Marvel? How did they get Quicksilver?
They didn't. They call them the twins.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, they use their real names in the movies.
Yeah, they can't actually say Scarlet Witch or.
They call them the twins.
They can't say Quicksilver, mutants. None of that.
So here's my spiel on the whole Marvel thing.
Can they bring in James Howlett or like?
Because the reason why this happens, long time ago, Marvel was losing money, so they were selling their properties. Yeah. They sold X-Men, they sold Fantastic Four to these movies. That's why there's this split between all the different departments. Sony got Spider-Man, and they made those 3 movies and 2 other ones. That's why it was a big deal when Marvel was like, "Hey, we got Sony and Marvel came to an agreement." Because what I'm hoping for is 20, 30 years in the future when they reboot everything. We get a whole new cast of people taking over. They bring everyone in. Like Fox, Marvel, and Sony work together, and we have legit Marvel.
I think a good test for Fox on this will be if Sony makes a lot of money now that they're adding
Spider-Man. I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, they're totally going to. Spider-Man's like one of the most popular superheroes in the world. I think I saw he rivals Batman and Superman as some of the most popular ones out there. So
it's because of his influence on that universe.
Yeah.
Spider-Man has the most in Civil War when Peter Parker reveals himself.
He changed the title of the war.
He changed Civil War in the movie.
Yeah.
And in the comic books when he reveals himself, it's huge. But trying to stick with like the movie franchise and everything, if they ever create a huge Fox, Sony, Marvel universe, that would be gigantic. We can finally see whoever takes over Wolverine and see them like team up with Iron Man and Captain America and everything. It's gonna be insane.
I feel like that's gonna be like. I feel like that's just like a Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather fight. It's all about the money. We're never gonna get a fight.
I think someone said the budget for Infinity Wars is like close to $1 billion. No, it's not close to $1 billion.
$1 billion?
No,
I heard it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's several hundred million.
It's $700 million.
Yeah.
And they're gonna make 3 times as much when that movie comes out.
Of course.
But anything else that y'all want to go say before we finish? We've done the spoiler reviews for Logan and Get Out. I mean, these are the 2 biggest movies that people are watching right now. Mm-hmm. I think what comes out this year, Kong comes out this week.
Kong.
But it's gonna be good or bad, whatever it is. It's not gonna be Logan or Get Out.
Hopefully it's not like 4 hours like the last one.
Yeah. I think the next superhero movie we get at this point is Guardians 2, right?
Yeah, Guardians comes out in May. I don't know if you consider Beauty and the Beast a superhero movie.
That's not a superhero movie at all.
But I will watch it.
It's Disney. Doesn't
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it because Emma Watson, I love you.
Okay, so I guess we'll do one more thing. I guess we'll let y'all know what's going on this week for us. I know tomorrow or Wednesday I'm flying off to Disney World and Universal, so I'll be out for a while. Yeah, I'm excited to go. We bought our Disney World tickets today. Ben, what you got going on this week?
The only reason why he wanted to do what we're doing this week is because he wanted to brag about going to Disney World again.
That's exactly why.
Jelly.
I'm doing the same old. I'm still gonna sit here. I'm gonna use this time instead
wait.
give a shout out and a farewell to Hugh Jackman.
Oh yeah, that too.
It's like you were amazing. You made me like Wolverine much more when I was little and I watched the comics. or watched the cartoons. I really didn't like Wolverine. You made me like him. So, love you, man. You were great.
There are a lot of video montages out there, and they're all amazing.
Oh, yeah, I'll check them out.
Saying farewell to Hugh Jackman. But I was going to mention you're playing Event Horizon.
Oh, that's right. Horizon Zero Dawn, not Event Horizon. That's a movie. But no, I am playing that game. It's great. I'm going to write a review. It's going to go up this week on our Facebook page.
Wait, you almost beat it?
So, yeah, I'm actually pretty much.
Good Lord.
Well, so it's one of those games like kind of like Skyrim or things like that where like there's a lot of extra stuff you can do, but
you
if you
just do
only
the main.
focus on the main. I'm mostly focusing on the main, like doing a little bit of side stuff here and there, but I'm not spending too much time. I'm just kind of learning the mechanics and just enough so where I can get a review out there. So check that out this week. Otherwise, what do you got going on, Rush?
First of all, I do want to say thank you, Hugh Jackman, for portraying, the Wolverine, which is my favorite comic book character, superhero of all time, no matter X-Men, whatever. I think he can literally kill anyone. But that's just my opinion. But look out for our podcast on iTunes now, right, Ben? Yes.
It is approved.
You had one job.
Hey, I got it on there. I just also didn't realize once it got approved. So,
we'll be tweeting out the link on Twitter and Facebook.
We're on everything. We're on SoundCloud. We're on iTunes. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe Spotify one day. We're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll look at some other.
That might be a
Also,
while.
anyone out there who knows how to use Reddit, please help us.
Yeah, I think there's a Reddit post on how to use Reddit.
That's confusing as hell.
Yes, it is.
But you already have to use Reddit enough to get there.
But I just wanted to say that be out, look out for those kind of links. We'll provide them soon. And I'm just trying to get my hand on a Nintendo Switch, man. If Nintendo want to send me one,
my
send us one,
his
Nintendo.
if you want it. But it's $100 more than.
I think I'll just wait for the restart.
Speaking of the Switch, what I'm doing this week, I got Breath of the Wild, Legends of the Wild.
Wait. Is it still installing though?
No, it only took 30 minutes. I have that for the Wii, so I only got a chance to play it Sunday. I played like 3 hours. It's living up to the hype right now.
Ocarina of Time times 10.
The open world, imagine Ocarina of Time open world times 10. Yeah,
it got a perfect 10 on IGN.
It got a perfect 10 on IGN, and I already understand that, and I barely touched.
So
the
we'll get a
surface.
review from you then.
Give me another week. I'm not like Ben. I actually have a life. So.
I have a life. I just am speeding through.
It's
for
okay,
you
Ben.
guys.
It's okay.
Everyone listening was like,
I hate you.
All right, so that's our podcast review for Get Out and Logan. Go watch them, go watch them. I mean, it's a spoiler review, but these movies are really good. Go watch them. We got plenty more coming out. We got more stuff coming out next week. And we're just going to keep recording. Like we said, thank you for everyone that liked our Facebook page.
Keep supporting us.
Yeah, please.
And spread the word.
Yes, please do something. But, yeah, if you have any suggestions of what we should talk about, let us know. We have our list, but if people want to hear us talk about something, just please let us know. But I think that's a good ending point for today. Thanks for listening, and let's know us next week.
Peace.
Now we sync.